Hi everyone, this is a demo showing how to implement granular level database encryption. With this demo, we'll be using Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. If you want, you can use different tools like SQL Server or MySQL Workbench, but today we're going to use SQL Server Management Studio. So for granular level database encryption in SQL, it's really reliant on built-in functions such as encrypt by key, encrypt by asymmetric key, encryption by certificates or passphrases. So today we'll be using mostly with certificates and symmetric encryption. So to start, we just created a database that was called Granular Encryption Demo. After creating our database, we had to create a master key for the database, and this is just a symmetric key that is used to create certificates or asymmetric keys. So we created a master key by encryption by password and just set our password there. So after that was done, we created a certificate to use as a database encryption key, and this database encryption key is protected by the database master key that we just created right here. So by creating the certificate that's protected by the master key, these certificates can be used to create symmetric keys for our data encryption. So here is our creation of our certificate called Cert for Granular. And once that has been created, we can now create a symmetric key and encrypt it using our certificate that we created previously. So here we are creating a symmetric key called Key for Granular Encryption with a AES 256 algorithm and encrypting it by our certificate Cert for Granular. So once you run that, you then need to open a symmetric key before you can make any use of it. So before your key is available for use, you need to make sure to open it. And you do this also for decryption purposes. So you want to run that right there. So now we have all of our keys set up and certificates, and we can go ahead and create our table. So here we created just a customer table with customer ID, first name, last name, and credit card number. So our credit card number is going to be the data that we want to encrypt. Now, it's important in this demo using this software that when you're using built-in functions to encrypt specific data, you have to set the data type to var binary in order to work. So our credit card number is set to type var binary. So once we create our table for customer, we can then insert values into the table. So to encrypt data using the symmetric key, you use a built-in function called encrypt by key. So we're inserting our values into the table, first name, last name, and our credit card numbers. So we can see that here, and we can see that the built-in function to encrypt the credit card numbers is encrypt by key, and we're naming the key that we made previously with the certificate and the value of the credit card number. And if we want to see the result after we insert, there is our first name, last name, and encrypted credit card number values. So there's our encryption method for granular level database encryption. Now, if you ever want to decrypt the data, you have to make sure that you convert the data type. So our credit card number, in order to encrypt it, had to be set to a var binary. Now, if you want to decrypt it, you have to convert it to a var char, which is right here, and use the built-in function decrypt by key and enter the required information. So if you want to decrypt it, you can execute this query, and we can see another column formed with the decrypted credit card number values. Now, it's very important when you're all done with encryption and decryption to close your symmetric key, just to close your current session. So then you'll want to run that statement and make sure that your session has successfully closed. But that is how you implement granular level database encryption within Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. And thanks.